Hey legends, welcome to a new video. Today I've got I think it's one of the funniest things ever. So for a little while there I got these. You've seen these are like they're SketchBox. Each month you pay a subscription and they send you out a box with some supplies for you to try and make an artwork, and you know they've already got somebody who's made an artwork with those materials. To be honest with you, this is the only box I actually kept, and it was not even opened, and I was doing a bit of a clean up and I thought I'm just gonna open it, take the art supplies out and chuck the box. But I actually opened it and I loved the materials that were inside it. Now let me tell you, this art box I received, because it's still got the shipping label on the back, the 17th of the 2nd 2023 is when this box was shipped to me. So from the beginning of 23, I've had this for over 2 years sitting there unopened. But I think this was also the last one that I got too. And I was like, oh, I'll do a YouTube video, and then completely lost all interest in YouTube. And now I'm back. Hey. So I'm gonna put you down. We'll have a little look what's in the box. I got rid of a lot of the like packaging and stuff, so yeah, this is gonna be good fun. So this is art by Pam Schmaltz, I want to say it is, and there's her, I'm guessing, Instagram handle. When you're art on the boxes, use the supplies in this box and tag us with this. So I'm guessing that's actually not with the supplies in this box, but from a previous one. Yeah, so anyway, let's have a little look-see. Alright, and so what made me not separate this is because it's all Inktense, and I'm getting back into Inktense, funnily enough. So that's just the thing that says what's in it. No, this is the person who, this postcard here is an artist who's, I think, curated this box. So they've used Inktense to create this picture. That butterfly is painted absolutely beautifully. Her name is Lana, I want to go Glashart, based in Salt Lake City. Yeah, anyway, she loves playing with colour. Here's her Instagram and YouTube. Oh, there you go, cool. So let's have a look at what was in the box. This little pad of Hannah Mule watercolor paper, agave. It's very Australian. Agave, maybe, I don't know. It's 4x6. Cool bananas. We'll have a go at that. It's got Inktense pencils, so let's have a little look. And when I'm actually playing with these, I might actually get my Inktense pencils that I already own, because I own in a couple of colours. So the colours included are peacock blue. Oh, that's good, because I want to get some more blocks, and peacock blue was one of the colours I was thinking about getting. Same with gold and yellow. There we go. Gold and yellow is another one. Next one, hot red, deep rose, light olive, and red violet. So those are the ones. I'm not sure if these colours on the ends are going to match, but we'll have a look, we'll see. So those are the 6 pencils. I'll put them back in their little box. Then there was this little Inktense paint pan set. So the colours in this are sun yellow, poppy red, turquoise, hooker's green, red oxide, and Payne's grey. So it's actually quite a nice little palette. I'll show you what it looks like. Take her out of the little box. Looks a bit like that. So there is no container or anything. It's just kind of the pans. They kind of fall out too if you don't hold your fingers there. So I actually might have a play around with, I wonder if I could use these like blocks. Oh, I might try that with some of the colours I'm not going to use. Anyway, so put that back in its little box. And it comes with this brush. Now, I'm not sure how I feel about this brush. It's a Princeton Select Lunar Blender in a 1/2 inch. I get it being a blender because it is really stiff bristle, so it would be really good for blending. I don't know, we'll try it. Anyway, so that's the box. I sometimes feel like the box is a bit too big for the supplies, but that's just me. All right, I feel like I need to do a little bit of a swatchy swatch. I'll go grab all the ones I've already got in the Inktense pencils, because I think I've got magenta. I'm not sure what I've got. I'll go get them. Now I know I have this beautiful watercolor paper, but I'm actually going to do all my swatches in my sketchbook, and this is just cartridge paper, so this isn't even watercolor paper or anything. And I'll probably draw over this at a later date. What do I do first? Doesn't really matter. I found 3 of the ones, the Inktense I've got. I thought I had more. I thought I had a blue, because I kind of feel like I'm missing a blue. I've got peacock blue, but I don't know. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see. Those are the 3. These are the 3 that I already had, which I've, as you can see, never used. Actually, I'm going to start with the paint pens. Just because I've just had an idea of that. Okay, so I'm going to use the brush they've given me, and we're just going to see how we go. This yellow is the sun yellow. The idea is you use it a bit like watercolor, but water activates really easy. Oh, wow, I put way too much on my brush then. So that's the sunshine yellow. Oh, I didn't even wash my brush. Good job, Courtney. This one is poppy red. Oh, I like that. It's funny because I only watched a YouTube today where someone swatched all of the colors, and the poppy red did not look vibrant. And I don't know, it probably doesn't look vibrant on the camera here either, but in real life it's really pretty. It's a very pretty red. I actually crossed it off my list because I'm like, no, I want a really bright red, and it is. This blue is, oh, it's actually, is it turquoise? Yeah, this is actually turquoise. Oh, turquoise is nice too. Yummy, yummy, yummy. So next is Hooker's Green. I don't know, I'm actually really liking these more than I thought I would. The little blocks. That's Hooker's Green. Nice, it's just standard Hooker's Green really. This one is red oxide. Yep, not my usual colour, but it is actually quite a nice red oxide. And this one's Payne's Grey. Yeah, nice. I actually think that's quite a nice set. I'm not a massive fan of red, blue, yellow. So it's kind of nice they've mixed it up a little bit. So yeah, that's cool. Now I'm probably never going to use this red oxide, so I'm going to take it out. There we go. Oh, sugar. Oh gosh, and I've gotten it all dirty. Look, I've got red everywhere. I just wanted to see, and it's a bit hard because I put a lot of water on this, if it draws like, oh gosh, it's crumbling, it's crumbly. It might be slightly different, but it does seem to draw like the blocks, but like that is absolutely crumbled in my hand. We might put that back in the paint pan. Whoopsies. Let's put all that away. Clean this yellow off. There you go. Oh, that's a nice yellow. Orange, rather. Well, let's see how this poppy red goes with the yellow. Oh, so that makes very nice yellow. What do you call it? Not yellow. Orange. What about this turquoise and this red? It's going to make a very muted purple. Yeah. What about, I'm on the roll now. As you can see, this is just cartridge paper, so it's not holding up well to the wet media, but that's fine. I'm not too worried about that. I'm going to go yellow, which is very much muddied, but with some of that turquoise. Oh, see, that makes a very nice green. I almost kind of think the Hooker's Green was, you probably didn't need it in the set, because you can make a very similar green with yellow and turquoise. So it's kind of redundant having that one in there. Anyway, cool. I don't mind this brush actually. I don't mind it. It's alright. I'm not the best person to ask because I use cheap brushes and don't really care for my brushes too much. I do really like soft brushes normally though. That's why I didn't think I'd like this one. But yeah, it's alright. Don't take my word as gospel though. Alright, let's have a look at these colours. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swatch them all dry and then I'll wet them all. Oh no, do we want to do that? I don't know. So this one here is red violet. It's funny. I'm looking forward to see how that turns out when it's wet. So what's this one? This one's deep rose. They're very similar dry. I find it again a little bit redundant to have both of them in the one set when you, like, if you've only got 6 pencils, I just don't know whether you needed both of them. But again, it might be different when they're wet. I know these change quite a bit when they're wet. So this is peacock blue. It's quite dark. It's a lot darker, heaps darker than the end. Oh no, maybe not. I think it's dark. It's a lot darker than I thought. I thought, looking at that end, I thought it was going to be a fairly mid-tone blue, but that's a dark blue. Again, might be different when I wet it. This is, oh, I didn't write on it. What was that one? Peacock blue. This was light olive. I've obviously got charcoal on my desk because I made a mess there. This is the one I'm probably not going to use much. Light olive. I quite like olive, but the videos I watched today, they turn out like a brown, like a really brown knot. So I was like, I'm not sure. Oh, that's very orangey. Like the end of that is yellow and that's orange. Very different. But again, we'll see if it's different when we add water. And what was that? Golden yellow. Golden yellow. Looking at the ends, you would think they're brighter than what they've come out. This one is hot red. I'm glad I've got this one because this was another one that I wanted to get. So I'll see what it's like. Oh, that's really interesting. That to me is darker than the poppy red, which is interesting. I thought it'd be the other way around. I thought this should be poppy red and that should be hot red. But I don't know. I don't know who comes up with their names. Hot red, that's right. I only just said it. Hot red. Let's have a little look. I'm going to just add them in now. The 3 that I have, which is, this one is fuchsia. This is one that I wanted to get, so I'm glad I've got it and I can have a little test. Can never spell fuchsia. I always got to have to double check. I love the fuchsia flowers, so I'm just saying. This one is thistle. Okay. I'm glad I've got this one because, oh, I suppose they're purpley, aren't they? But deep rose and red violet you would think are not overly purples, whereas this is actually, this is quite a nice purple. I'd like a more bluey purple in my collection maybe. And that one's thistle. And my last one is this green, apple green. Oh, this is what I wanted to get too and try because it's so nice and bright. Yeah, look at that. That's pretty much exactly as I expected. Apple green. I like those colours, but I'm hoping they brighten up a little bit when I add water. Because my whole concept behind getting more Inktense blocks is to add pops of colour to my artworks as a first layer. Anyway, I'm going to have a play around with that. So I want to keep, oh, that's heaps brighter when you add, yeah. So this is the one thing that I didn't really like about Inktense I originally had a set of Inktense years ago and I gave them away because I wasn't using them. I now very much regret it. But I didn't like how different the colour was when you added water. But it doesn't bother me as much anymore. Alright, let's have a look at this deep rose. Oh yeah, so that's heaps brighter too. Yeah, that's actually quite a pretty pink when it's got water to it. That's interesting. I've got a couple of blocks. I've got the mustard, a black. Here's the black. Oh, here's the black. So I can add that down here. I can't remember which black that is. Maybe Chinese black, I'm not sure. I have mustard and I also have indigo, but I have no idea where they are at the moment. So let's have a look. I already added it. Oh, see, that's heaps brighter. See, that's interesting. I'll get the pencil. If I look at that base, I say that's a more powdery, almost like a periwinkle type muted blue. That is not muted. That's a really pretty color. I'm glad they've got that. This is actually a good test. Light olive, come on. Oh, see, that's better. I much prefer that light olive. The water activated or light olive. Yeah, I actually probably will use that. This is the golden yellow. I'm intrigued by this one. Oh my god. Yeah, see, that's so different too. Look, that's actually yellow. Because remember I was saying the tip's orange, like the thing, but then the end is yellow. But that's actually pretty close. The water activated yellow is actually pretty close to the end there. Just saying, that's cool. Hot red, hey? Ah. Do I need that and a poppy red? I would actually say hot red is actually a cooler red. I don't know, I'm not a colour expert and I've already tainted this. Like, that doesn't look that different. I'd say hot red's a cooler red. So I find that really odd. I think they should be swapped. Anyway. That might just be me. Right, let's go fuchsia. This is one I'm excited about. Oh, that's pretty. Also pretty. Yeah, that's nice. Thistle. Ah, yeah, that's a really pretty purple. But, even though, yes, it is a very pretty purple, I think I need in my collection, because I've got quite a few pinks and purples here now, I think I need a more blue purple. Now, and as these are drying, they're drying less bright. That's interesting. So that's not as pretty, They're still nice colours, but they're not as vibrant as I thought. Anyway, the fuchsia and thistle are pretty good. Well, they haven't dried yet. Apple green. Oops. Bit of contamination there. Yeah, exactly what I expected from the apple green. Actually, I like the water activated green better. It's a bit more of a yellow green, more of a lime green. And the last one's this black of some form. Maybe Chinese black. I don't know. I don't know what it is. Anyway, it'd be interesting to see how the mustard fits in here. I didn't like the mustard as much as I thought. So I thought I might play around a bit more. I like the idea of dipping these in water or drawing into. I've let these dry too much to draw into the wet. But I just sort of, if I dip them in the water, yeah, cool. Just gonna do that to each of them. Why not? Why not? This is the deep rose again. Oh, that's a big blob of. Yeah, see, drawing into the wet is really good. Let's do that with some of the ones that haven't dried. So this is the peacock blue. That's me just drawing into the wet. Oh, see, that's cool. I like that. I do very much like that. This is the olive into the wet. I'm going to dip it because it's not heaps of water there. Yeah, I think that's the ticket. You dip it. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, seeing the olive's not as nice now it's drying either. Oh, interesting. Interesting. I'm going to dip this yellow because I don't think that's going to work either. Ah, so when you dip it and you put more pigment, it becomes more that orangey colour. Oh, that's interesting. So in order to get that real yellowy colour down here, you have to water it down quite a bit. So doing it like this is not how you do it. That's not how you do it. Don't do that. Is there enough water there? Oh, there is a little bit. I might get some more anyway. Yeah, I like that. That's cool. Now I do it with these ones to make sure I get the right ones. Fuchsia. Yeah, I like that. Either drawing into the water or dipping them into the water. That's cool. I really like that. Let's go the thistle. This is way too much water for this paper in my sketchbook. Nice. And I'm going to do the apple green too. Yeah, same with the apple green. It's like this. Well, I think with most of them, you put a lot of the pigment down, it actually turns out very similar to the initial colour. Oh, I like that. Okay, so I've got here my recycled shopping bags sketchbook that I'm going to actually swatch all of my Inktense. I've also bought a couple of extra Inktense blocks the other day. Plus I've got the black. I've got indigo somewhere. I wouldn't have a clue where. Oh look, there's a little bit of indigo. Oh, and there's some of my mustard. There you go. I've got indigo and mustard here too. So I've got some blocks that I'm gonna, and I just want to swatch them all in this sketchbook only because I just want to see how they come up on the brown paper, because I was testing out the white the other day in one of my other sketchbooks that I made, and I was unimpressed how the white went once you added water, but then once it dried it actually brightened up. So I'm going to try them on here in this old sketchbooky. I will speed this one up though, because you've already seen me swatch them, so you don't really need to see it again, but you might like to watch it how it goes on this brown paper. So you can see what I mean. this white here, it becomes so much more vibrant when it dries. Same with the yellow. These are opaque colors. When you put water, you think, oh my gosh, there's no pigment there, and it goes really see-through. But then when it dries, it becomes like super opaque. So I actually really like this page. This is cool. I like touching it. It was really interesting to really test out this paper too with really wet mediums, and some has come through where the folds are in the paper, so that's really interesting. But I think that's really cool. That's my first page. It's good. I'm glad I introduced the sticks. I like the sticks best. It puts more pigment down than any other one, and I like that. I like to be able to, I want to layer lots of pigment down. The other thing is, there's a couple of colors that I've gotten in the sticks that I was missing in the other colors. So I got a really nice blue, so like a warmish blue. So that's the, I think it's iris blue. I think that one is. I also got mallard green. So it's another like a tealy green. It's not quite turquoise, but it's not quite the hooker's green either, so that's really cool. And I just tried some white in with them as well because I could. And this yellow, I don't know, is it the same? I don't think it is the same yellow as the pan, but it's very similar. Sun yellow, I actually think they're the same color. One's in a paint pan and the other one's a stick. So I'm actually going to, I've let this dry, I'm actually going to, I love how my book does that. So this is a page. So when you first open the book, woo, so that's how big it is. You open it up and then you fold the page out and you got this nice big long. So the only problem is it's hard to work on this side. So I've just added a bit of this backing card underneath here just to help out a little bit, which is fine. It works out really well. So I fold that in half and flip over, and let's do an artwork just with some Inktense. I'm gonna, maybe, should I do the whole page? I don't know. Let's go the whole page. I've been really obsessed with this bird here. Is a 40 spotted pardalote, which is an endangered species of bird. You can't actually tell from those pictures. I've just been really playing around with it. I'm really into like endangered species at the moment. So yeah. So I thought I'm actually gonna do like a background with these and just start playing. I'm gonna try to avoid the blocks as much as I can, although I think I'm going to need them for a bit of whatchamacallit, contrast. I'm going to try to use just mainly the pencils, the paint pans with just a little bit of the blocks. I think I'll probably use the white block more than anything. You see, I break them all the time. That's the only problem. I'm just going to get cracking. Okay, so here's my final thoughts about Inktense. It's kind of been, this video has kind of become a review on Inktense pencils, these ones and the blocks, as opposed to the SketchBox that I originally got them in. First of all, on the 3 different mediums, the 3 different ways that it is presented. My favorite is the block, most definitely. It puts the most pigment down. The way that I work, I'm pretty heavy-handed. So if I don't like having to press really hard to get heaps of pigment down, even though I do press quite hard anyway. I like to, if I just do my usual amount of pressure, it gets quite a bit of pigment down. You get that with the blocks. The pencil's got to really push or go over, activate, put another layer. You've really got to layer these up, unless you want real like watercolory effects. If you're after watercolor type effects, then the paint pans and the pencils are your jam. Use these like watercolor pencils, use this like watercolor. Done. Easy as. I didn't think I would like the paint pans. They're actually not that bad. It's a bit hard with a small paint pan like this to do such a large area. So it took me ages to get all this green down. I used just the Hooker's green from in here. It took me ages because you could only get a little bit of water in there, and then you do it, then you have to add a little bit more, blah, blah, blah. But I actually didn't mind the paint pans. And with this brush that the SketchBox gave you, because it is a harder bristle, you could really scrub it and get lots of pigment. So I actually didn't mind that as a layer, as one of my layers, not as the only way, but I was happy to put that down first. I used this block, but then I was like, I forgot that I had the exact same yellow in here. So really I should have just used this yellow as opposed to this for the body. But because it would have done the same trick, but a little less heavy. Because what I find with these, so they reckon once you put them down, they're permanent. That's the case if you use them like watercolors. So if you're like me and you chuck heaps of pigment down, activate it with a bit of water, it's still, and I found that here, because I use this yellow block and I put heaps of yellow down, activate it with water, then I went over it, once it completely dried, I went over it with white to lighten it. The white was actually picking up and mixing with the yellow I'd already put down. So I'm guessing that's because I had so much pigment down. So the whole being super water resistant and permanent is when you do light washes as opposed to real thick layers like I did. About halfway through this, I was like, I hate it. But I think I brought it back. I think I very much did. One thing about the colors though, you need white, I think. If you're not using these like a watercolor, you need white, because using all these colors, super highly bright, saturated colors, there's no contrast of light and dark. So there wouldn't be enough contrast between the bird and the background. The only reason there is because I added white here and I added white down here. Like I said, if you're using these like watercolors, you use the white of the paper to lighten it anyway, or you add extra water. But on this like craft paper, I kind of want it to be opaque. So I'm looking for a bit of opacity there. It was a very interesting experiment. I'm still probably going to use these pencils. I'm probably not going to buy any more. I will continue to buy more of the blocks. I shouldn't have given away the set that I had when I was first starting my art journey many, many years ago. I should have kept them because I bought a set when they first came out of the blocks, and I gave them away because I didn't like them. I didn't know how to use them. I wish I had kept them. The other thing I noticed with these is while they work really well together, the blocks are kind of in a league of their own because they put so much pigment down and that it's kind of a little waxy. So even when you water activate it, it kind of has a little bit of that waxiness to it because of the amount of pigment I put down. It's quite tricky to draw on top of. So you've got to press quite hard to get some of the pigment of the pencil down when you've put a lot of block down as well. In saying that, I don't think that's such a bad thing. Like, I think they each serve their purpose kind of thing. But the blocks I feel like are very much in a league of their own. If you've got the blocks, I don't think you need the other two, to be honest. Unless you're working really small and you want to get really fine details, I think if you just got the blocks, that's more than fine because you can use the blocks like these pans. So I think if you've got the blocks, these become pointless, really. Not really pointless, but I don't think you need them both. It's like they're not as soft as the blocks. They're a bit harder, the pencils. I still really like them though. I don't know how I feel. I don't know. Maybe I might try to get a white pencil and see how that goes. My white block is now in 3 pieces. And it's looking pretty scabby, so I'm going to get a few more white blocks because I'm obviously going to use them. Am I going to get more? Yeah, for sure. I'm going to definitely get more blocks. I actually didn't use many of the blocks in this because I really wanted to test these out. I've had a couple of blocks for a while, so I kind of know how they work. But yeah, definitely needed, I probably didn't need to use the yellow. I definitely needed to use the white. And then I used the black on the wings because I needed that contrast. They are black wings on the 40 spotted pardalote. They have black wings. So I needed it to be darker. But it was great because I put those layers of that purple down and I think it makes it look so much better, especially where you can see it still poking through. I like that. It looks great. Thank you for joining me. I hope this has helped. Let me know how you use your Inktense pencils, pans, blocks. I'd love to know. Pop it in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It helps so much when you like. If you don't want to subscribe, that's fine. If you just hit the like, it helps. You've got no idea how much that helps me grow this and turn this into a full-time gig. So thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget, if you want to tag me over on Instagram so I can see your Inktense drawings, I'd love it. That'd be great. Thank you so much. All right, thanks guys, bye.